Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Episode number 422, Drink Until You Podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. I am once again going to down a couple of Lone Stars here. I could not get these off my mind. I've been thinking about you all week. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. Oh my God. So much to talk about. I'm going to have to get moving quick to squeeze this all in. Let's go Thursday night. USA women's hockey team beating Canada. Are actually down in the third period from what I saw. There's like under a minute left or maybe a little over a minute left. USA's losing to Canada 1-0. They score the game-tying goal to send it to overtime, which I didn't know in Olympic hockey they did 3-on-3 overtime. I love 3-on-3 overtime in the NHL, but it does seem a little out of place in Olympic hockey. But yeah, I can't remember the woman's name on the team, but she pulled off just an amazing move. Just like waited for the opponent to come into her area and basically swept the puck through her legs and finished it on the backhand. I think that one even went under the goalie's legs for the game winner. And from what I understand, I haven't really been watching the Olympics that closely as I normally would have. But from what I understand, USA just pushing it to overtime, that alone won them the gold. They hadn't been beaten, I guess, the whole tournament. I know they were 4-0 going into this game, so that just solidified it, taking them to overtime. What a great move to finish it off. Like, the picture is just already iconic of that puck dribbling behind the goalie. Defender nowhere close to the play. It's just an epic picture. So move on to Friday night. I'm doing some Rocket League, and I've said this a few times on the podcast over the years, but my entire goal playing Rocket League is to just make it to diamond level in the 3 versus 3 version standard. And Friday night, I come home, I'm heavily caffeinated, okay? Because I have a plan in mind. I'm like, tonight's got to be the night. I'm tired of it, through bad teammates and, being tired and not playing well myself in some games. It's like, I just got to put this to bed. Like, this has gone on too long. So like I said, heavily caffeinated. Early Saturday morning, actually, I finally reached diamond level in 3v3. And I'll tell you why this is so amazing to me is I didn't do it with any teammates. As I've said, well, that's not true. I had teammates on my team, but I didn't do it with any party. Let me say it that way. I have tons of friends that I've made over the years playing this game. And, I'll add them, they'll add me, whatever. And every time I go on my friends list, I look, and all these friends that I've made, they're always maining 2v2, which I like 2v2, but 3v3 is my jam. That's where I started. That's where I wanted to stay until I reached Diamond 2. And Friday night, through the randos and all, I finally did it, man. I finally reached that goal. The second it said I was diamond, I captured a screenshot. I turned the Xbox off. And yeah, I'm just going to let it sit, man. It's been crazy, man. It's been like I said, something I wanted to do for a long time, but I kind of had a point to prove, and I don't know if I've necessarily said this either, but yeah, I don't have like the fanciest mechanics at all. I see people all the time online air dribbling and doing all this crazy stuff, these psychos and all this and that. And it's like I'm definitely, like, when I practice, I'm working toward those things, but it's not the end all be all. And like pulling off a full field air dribble to score in competitive 3v3, I mean, I'm not going to say it never happens, but it's not the prime strategy you would think it would be, as fancy as it looks. Yeah, a lot of balls trickle in, a lot of goals just, it's a block and nobody's back to defend. I'm not saying people haven't scored air dribbles. Of course they have. I see those clips too, but I'm just saying, for any average player like myself, it's not necessary to reach a level like Diamond. And that puts me in the top 15% of players, which I am more than happy with. And especially, like I said, since I just queue with randoms, like, it's a mixed bag every game, dude. You don't know what you're going to get. They might be a good player, but they have a bad attitude. Or they might be a good player, but they're not a good teammate. Or, they might be a bad player, and you're trying to rank up in this. Dude, there's just so many variables. And I trudge through all of that. So this next drink, I don't do this very often on this episode, or on this podcast, I mean. But this next drink is for me. I finally freaking did it. Practice and grind, and I finally did it. Cheers to me. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. So starting Monday, on my YouTube page, I'm changing strategies a little bit. So when I first started my YouTube page a few months back, I was doing 3 uploads a day. Kind of cut that down to 2 uploads a day, 6 days a week. And now, starting Monday, since I have reached, the reason there's so many Rocket League clips on my YouTube page is because I've been, doing it with this in mind, to reach that goal of Diamond. Anything after that, I mean, if I go up to Champ, great. If I drop down below Diamond the next time I play, I don't care. I've already reached the goal. That was the point for me. But yeah, I'm definitely going to, that's basically what's going to be the new YouTube schedule, is one video clip for 6 days a week. Rinse and repeat that week after week. That's what we're moving to. And it's not to say I'm not playing Rocket League. If you want to hit me up, still hit me up. I just got the monkey off the back, you know what I mean? Which was huge. So that was Friday night. Saturday, we had the UFC, which was a great event. And just for time sake, I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about in this whole event. It was awesome. But for time's sake, for now, let's just go ahead and start with Strickland. Let me go ahead and start by saying Strickland is an American fighter. I like that. Strickland, speaks a lot on his, when he's not fighting, he's on podcasts, he's doing other stuff aside from training. Though we both agree that we both love America, I do not subscribe to anything that Strickland says on his platforms when he's not. I just purely like him because he's a fighter, and I can totally separate the two. And I'm not saying he said bad stuff, or I'm not saying he said good stuff. I'm just saying I don't give a shit what he says outside the octagon. That's not the point. Like, I'm glad that he's proud to be an American. I'm proud that he is an American and that he's fighting under that flag. But as far as his political opinions, I could not care less. You know what I mean? But with that said, it sounds like I'm just about to bash him, but that's not true. With that said, Sean Strickland probably has my favorite fighting style in UFC ever. Like, he comes from an efficient, starting out with your jab kind of style, and he uses that all fight, and I love it. I can't tell you how many episodes I've got on here and I've talked about how important a punch like the jab is. And Strickland, it's nothing flashy, it's nothing fancy, just like my Rocket League. He's not going to do a backflip and kick you in the head. You know not to expect that from Strickland. But what he is going to do is he is going to march you down the entire fight. He is going to jab you. He is just going to wear you down over time and hit you with shots. And, dude, I've never seen... Fluffy's a tough dude, and I've never seen Fluffy just take shots like that. I know he's lost before, of course. But Strickland just... I was so nervous before this fight started because I'm like, these dudes both have the same mentality, They're both going to march you down. They're both got a huge gas tank, so they're not going to wear out even in 5 rounds. They're both willing to just be absolutely violent inside the cage. I was like, dude, I don't even know what to think. And then, you get them in there, and Strickland just looks like a damn monster, bro. Just his structure of his body. He just looked big compared to Fluffy. And Fluffy's not a small guy, I still love Fluffy. It sucks that he lost, but he said the right thing. He's going to go to the drawing board, back to the drawing board, and he'll be back stronger than ever. That's what any warrior does. That's why, I had to say that about Strickland is I'm not listening to Strickland's political opinions. I don't really give a shit, but God damn it. As a fighter, dude, I could not respect the guy any more than I do. I really couldn't. Just for the fact that I love his style. It is simplistic. It is following that jab. And he's proving a point. In this world of mixed martial arts where you can do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you can do, taekwondo, all these crazy question mark kicks and, front flip kicks and jumping off the... all this flashy stuff you can do in a sport where all those things can be lethal. This guy is walking through and doing it his way, as you can hear my sink is draining. But yeah, this guy is walking through and doing it like the boxing way. When UFC originally started, you had a guy in there who was wearing boxing gloves. You know what I mean? You had another guy in there who was wearing a karate gi. You had another guy in there who was just a wrestler, so he's just wearing shorts and knee pads and wrestling shoes. You know what I mean? But Strickland proves a point that the jab is just foundational. It is the basis of fighting. And he does it so well. He stays within himself. He guards himself while doing damage. And over time, he didn't straight up knock Fluffy out, but Fluffy couldn't do anything. It was just Strickland hit him with about 5 to 8 good shots. Fluffy fell. Strickland, started pounding him. And the ref stops the fight. And I love it, dude. That event was in Houston, by the way. You Houston sports fans are just... what is wrong with you? You were absolute fucking maniacs. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. I'm watching the... I think it was when the main event started. And it was Reese versus Pereira. And there was a couple of stoppages in the first round where Pereira's like, oh, he kicked me in the nuts. And then you go back to the replay, and he did not kick him in the nuts. I'm sorry. He hit him on the inside of the thigh the first time, and he hit him on, right where the band of your shorts are on the second time. Now, the third thing was an eye poke. Reese did eye poke him, so that was fair. But in the first round, they stopped it twice, and they're showing the replay live in front of all these Houstonites. And I did not realize until that moment how much the WWE crowd mixes with the UFC crowd. It's probably pretty much the same crowd. So the fans see this happen on the big screen. It happens once, they're already booing. They're like, that's, crazy. Pereira didn't even get hit, there. He's just acting like it. It happens the second time, and the fans lose it. In unison, they start going, bullshit, 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 bullshit. And it's just such a powerful thing. And like one person yelling bullshit, it's like, fuck that guy. Yeah, 20,000 people shouting bullshit in unison is like, maybe we're fucking up here. You know what I mean? But it literally, when I heard that happening, it literally like zapped me to being 15 years old, sitting in my room and watching WWF Raw at the time, and the event being in Houston. That is such a WWE thing to do. And, yeah, I loved it. I did not realize how tight-knit the UFC and WWE crowd was. And like I said, you guys are just maniacs. I absolutely love it. If you see bullshit and you and 20,000 of your friends want to chant bullshit because you paid for a ticket, you are well within your right to do that. Paying for that ticket in any circumstance gives you a voice to say this is bullshit and it's not what I paid for, or, he's stalling, whatever. Pereira does win that fight. The crowd wasn't happy, but it was awesome to see. This next drink is for you Houstonites, you crazy fucking lunatic sports fans down there. I love it. I love it. Cheers to you guys. Bottoms up. All right, what else? Yeah, go check out my YouTube page. I posted a 5-part series about my Rocket League, my last little part of the journey. Part 1 and 2 is goals that I scored. Part 3 is assists that I did. Part 4 and 5 are saves. Just a compilation of everything. It is hashtag Road to Diamond. Go check that out. Another short I just dropped earlier in the week, which I've been really wanting to do, is The Fallen Interlude by Blink-182, Travis Barker being the drummer. He does this one fill near the end of the song that is just like, holy shit. When I first heard it, my brain pretty much just melted. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Probably by this time, I'm 18, 19 years old when that album came out, the self-titled album. And, I hear that part in The Fallen Interlude, and I was like, holy, dude, I rewound that part so many times when it first came out, trying to get a hint without watching, because I like to play music by ear a lot. But yeah, I'm just trying to get a hint of what the hell is he doing, before I go see him live. I want to kind of have an understanding and concept of what I'm going to be seeing, that way when I do see him live, it will solidify, okay, that is how he's playing the parts, but yeah, I couldn't figure out what he was doing for the longest time. So I sat down and I practiced and I finally got it. And then, over the years, I've played drums a lot less. Not to say I don't love it. I do. It's just something I've done for so long. It's not pressing to get on a drum set and play every day anymore like it used to be. I feel like I've reached a certain level. I'm happy with the level I've reached. I've done a lot of things in my life playing music, like touring with bands and essentially learning how hard that lifestyle is, man. Touring in bands, playing drums, lugging around, setting up, tearing down, moving on to the next place, setting up, tearing down, just doing that over and over. It gave me such a respect for just artists in general who do this full time for their job, for a living. It doesn't matter the artist. It doesn't matter if they're singing pop music. It doesn't matter if they're a rapper. It doesn't matter if they're a drummer and they're playing folk music. To be a paid touring musician is not a joke, man. And I learned that very quickly. Being in a hot, broken down van that we all have to scrape money together for. and call in favors to fix, driving across the country and setting up your equipment to do a 20-minute set to tear it down. And that was all you were there for, was 20 minutes at a time. You know what I mean? Like, it's a grind. So with that said, it really made me respect touring musicians. I mean, take your Britney Spears, for example. Dude, when you reach a certain level and you have a certain ecosystem depending on you to show up to your show, so all those ticket holders don't want their money back, and then your whole crew can get paid. Your life isn't yours anymore. And that's the point I started to realize was, once you reach a certain level with this, you have to go to the studio on this date because that's the date it's booked. You have to go fly to this venue because you have a show that night. And guess what? Before you go do the show, you're going to be jet lagged and tired, but you have to go do a radio show to promote the show you're playing that night. And then when you're done with that show, you have to fly to a different place to go into the recording studio for your next out. You know what I mean? Like, that shit compounds, and your time starts to not be yours anymore. And that was never what I wanted. I don't want someone telling me what to do, where to go, when to play, who to play for, how to play it. I want to do my own thing. So with that lived experience of being in bands and touring and stuff, it really helped me learn. I don't want to do it this way. I want to sit in my air-conditioned house and play drums whenever I get inspired. I want to write music the same way whenever the inspiration hits me. I want to cook steak and have steak for dinner tonight. I don't want Taco Bell dollar menu again. Please. I'll never forget one time with me and my friend Paul. I don't even remember what we were arguing about, but we just started punching each other. I don't know what. It was just like all that pent up frustration, being in the van, being hot, having to deal with, the van breaking down, having to deal with, hey, we still need to practice this part because last show we did, all the tension in that van. And yeah, we were getting into it, I love the guy to this day. That didn't change because we got into a fight, but yeah, man, it just changes you, man. It changes your life. It changes how you do things. If you're down for that, which I thought I was for many, many years, I thought I was down for that. I thought that was the life I wanted. Then once I really got a taste, I'm like, shit, I love all the places I saw. I loved being on the rooftop in Chicago for New Year's Eve and being able to see down into Wrigley Stadium. That was before I ever got a chance to go back and go inside and watch the White Sox and the Cubs play each other. But yeah, those memories are great, and I'm so glad I have them. But that life, yeah, I'm not about that life, man. I'm about the do it in my leisure life. You know what I mean? Like whenever I feel like it. So, yeah, man, a lot of shit happening. USA men's Sunday morning, this morning, winning gold over Canada. I can't believe it. So our women's team and our men's team have now won gold in the Olympics, which is just, it makes it so much cooler that I know what kind of team Canada has. I know the players on Canada's team, and they are not easy to beat, if you can even beat them. And somehow this season, and I will, as much shit as I talked, building up to this, Bill Guerin and it being all this club, you have to be in the special club, dude, I will gladly and happily shut the fuck up, Bill Guerin. I will happily, gladly put my foot in my mouth because you brought us gold. You knew what you were doing. I didn't see it. I didn't see the vision. What I saw happening was we're going to lose by a single goal, and then I was going to be left wondering, I wonder what kind of difference Robertson could have made on that team. The goal-scoring young guy could have made a difference on that team, but dude, they did it. They did it anyway. And I always say that no matter what shit I've talked on my teams or my players or whatever, dude, if I'm wrong, I will happily shut the fuck up about it. I've been saying it for Tyler Seguin for years. You know, if I'm wrong about you and you are the player that you claim to be, you are the player that you got paid all that money for, and you know, help us win a Stanley Cup, I think I said last year when we were in the playoffs, dude, I will make a 30-minute episode, one full episode, kissing Tyler Seguin's ass for him to prove me wrong. I want to be proven wrong. I don't want to be right. Just like the same thing with Bill Guerin and the USA, Team USA. I don't want to be right about what I'm saying. I hope I'm not right. And in this case, I was not right. They knew what they were doing. And, you know, like I said, I will happily shut the fuck up. We got gold, bro. We got gold in the men's and in the women's. That's fuck yeah. My favorite lyric ever. I think it came from the Team America thing. What is that? It's not claymation. What? I guess they were little dolls. But yeah, my favorite lyric comes from that, like, pro-American lyric. It's like, America, America, fuck yeah, America, America, lick my butt and suck on my balls. Wow, what a lyric. What a lyric. Lick my butt and suck on my balls. Because I'm American. And then there's that newer video where the bald eagle is running across a beach, and instead of wings, the eagle has like human muscular, like Arnold Schwarzenegger arms. And he's like shooting off fucking like ARs in each hand. He's just like pop, 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 pop as the song's going. America. Dude, the internet's a wild place, man, and I love it. It's fucking phenomenal. But yeah, you know, I will say this, I don't take this political ever, but America, we're definitely not perfect. Our history, you know, shows some bad times, some hard times, but God damn it, do we ever try. And I will never be upset about us trying to better the world, you know. And this has nothing to do with hockey. Us winning gold doesn't better the world. I'm just saying. You know, World War II, you got a guy over there named Hitler. And it's, this is probably going to get blocked now that I said his name across all platforms. But yeah, the world looks a lot different if America doesn't step in those instances. Those are the things I like to highlight in our history, not necessarily the bad shit that we've done and apparently are still doing. But yeah, dude, what a whirlwind of things happening. I'm sure I missed something. Baseball is starting up soon. I'm doing a project revolving around the Seattle Mariners, though I am a Texas Rangers fan. I was kind of looking over Seattle's schedule. Dude, they're playing so much baseball in the first 2 months. They have 4 Thursdays off. The season starts late March, I think March 28th. And from March to April, they only have 4 days off. Or to the end of April, I should say. They only have 4 days off. And then April to May, they only have 3 days off. And here's the weird thing that I was kind of just doing a little bit of research. Every off day that the Mariners have in the first 2 months of their season is a Thursday. I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't know if that's just how they make the schedule. But yeah, I mean, that Thursdays, as far as the eye can see, are the only days off. And in 2 months' time, probably 2.5 months' time, 4 or 5, they only have 7 days off. That's incredible. That's a shit ton of baseball, you know. But yeah, so I'm excited for baseball season. I'm excited for the NHL to come back, dude. I'm just so ready to finish off this NHL season and see who's going to be crowned champion. And yeah, man, that's going to do it for me for this week. Go check out my YouTube page. Look at my 5-part series on my Rocket League Road to Diamond journey. Go check out my Travis Barker fill that I never really finished saying, but I put up that Travis Barker fill on my YouTube page, which was a lot of fun to make and a lot of fun to practice and like get into the rhythm of that again. But yeah, just go check me out, follow me, listen, subscribe, all that stuff I'm supposed to say. Let's go ahead and have our last drink. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right. That's going to do it for me. I will talk to you all next week. I love you all. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.